Hi everyone, welcome to the show. Yes, I know we're 4 minutes late, but hopefully you guys are still there waiting for me. Yes, it's a it's a lot hot here in Korea, so I think the computer was going a little crazy. That's why we're still trying to adjust things here. Hopefully, it's gonna get better. It's 8:05 now, and are you guys there? Let me know. Chit chat. Let me know by chatting on the screen if you're there or not. Yes. And we're gonna have fun talking about TOEIC speaking today. Yay! Yay! Do you see this plant? It's been growing. Yeah, you see the root? Yeah, I'm growing this plant. I think I need to give some more water. Here, let me share my water with it. This is my water, and I'm generous enough to share it with my plant. Ooh, yeah, it's growing. It's growing. It's growing. I think I need to pot it somewhere. Yeah. Oh. And this is the itsy one, and the intimity one, the little one. Yes, the little one also has the root coming out. Hello. Hi y'all. Welcome to the show. Yes. Welcome. It's been a month. Yeah. I missed you guys. Thank you for coming. Hi Taiji. Hello. Yeah. You want to get level 7 this year, Heiji? I'm pretty sure it's going to be possible. Don't worry. I'm here to help you out. Yes. And this is the title for tonight. It's unbelievably, it's already heading towards the end of August. Yeah. Remember, it was like back in January when this whole COVID pandemic like started, but now it's already August. I mean, like the whole world has lost everything for 2020. Like some students cannot go to school. I mean, for like those freshmen who had to start their, college outside college. It was very, very unfortunate, but that's what's happening here, and that's what we have to deal with right now. So yeah, overall it's really, really sad, but yeah, no choice. That's what we have. Okay. I think I need to look at the chat room. Can't see the chat room. Do you think I should see my phone to check the chat room? Yeah, the system is a little weird. I'm logging. Okay, so yeah, I can see Tan Hui is here. Kyle is here. Tadashi, you're here. You're going to take the test this Sunday. Good. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And I see. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for calling me a nice person, Kyle. It's really, really hot. It was a long, rainy season for us here in Korea. It was really, really too long. But after 3 weeks of constant raining, finally, it's dry outside. It's freaking hot, but it's dry, finally, not raining. But actually, it rained once today afternoon, very strongly but heavily, but it's not raining now. So anyway, I came back home. This is the studio that's been prepared at my house. This is I would call it a library in my house. Yeah, and there's this little plant. I watered it. It's a fern. A while ago, 2 days ago, I think. You guys can hear me, right? Okay. All right. So today, we're going to talk about a set of TOEIC speaking. Yes, it's coming from this month, from August, and hopefully it's going to be very helpful for you guys to prepare for the test. Okay, so if we're ready, let's get right in. All right, so I'm going to give you some time to look at the passage. And while you guys look at the passage, I'm going to look over some words there. We're going to talk about some words that could be quite challenging to read. Okay, let me read this passage for you. Thank you for tuning in to the local news hours. Hillary Art Museum will reopen this coming July after months of renovation. This major project was planned to renew the building's east wing with new galleries, an education center, and performance spaces. The reopening date will soon be announced on museum's website. Okay, that's how the passage goes. And as you read it, as I read it, I found some words quite challenging, and one of them was a lot of Koreans get this wrong. Museum, right? Museum. It's with that z, 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 museum sound, okay? So when you're saying the museum, it's gotta be z, z. You know, for Japanese people, you know, when you guys say zanai desu, zanai desu, za, you know, that word that doesn't touch the upper part of your, mouth, that's the sound for museum, okay? So it's museum. And the word renovation has the stress on the V8 part, which is renovation. And the word galleries. Gel has the stress on it, so it's got to be galleries. And the word performance. I could imagine some people say performance, but actually the word has a stress on the second syllable, so it's got to be performance, okay? And announced on museum's website. Okay, so overall, the passage was just moderately hard. It wasn't so hard. It was just okay kind of passage. Yeah, so were there some words that you guys needed some help on? I can't see the chat room here on my screen. The chatting room's not working. Trying to make it work. You guys are here on my phone. But I can't see you on my screen. Hold on a second. And just type in some words that you guys can't, make the right sound for. I'm trying to get there. I'm getting there. I'm going to be there soon. Okay. I'll be there. Just type in the words that you would like to hear me read. This live is always so off. It's never perfect. I think that's the fun part of being live, going live. There's always this little mishappenings going on. So we have to be prepared. And at that very moment we think that we're prepared, we're not. So there's always something wrong going on. And I guess I would have to just see your words here on my little screen. And I see you, David, you're here. 정윤님, you're here. Hi. Hi. And Hyun, you're here. How do you pronounce the word education? Okay, the word education is more like a J sound. So it's not education. In Korean, we write it as edu, like the D sound, but it's not education. It's education. So it's got to be education. And here, Kizusu. Oh, this is the first time to join your live show. I'm very excited. Thank you for coming. Yes, Rick. Beautiful. Thank you for your comment. And 민지, 공지가 오후 8시라 사람이 별로 없는 것 같아요. Oh, really? The 공지 is on a different date. Okay, well, I have some of you here. I'm fine with that. The recording is going to be on the channel, so you guys or anybody else who's missed the live show could see it anytime on this channel. So no worries. And Teji, you asked about the pronunciation, month and months, right? So when there's S after the TH sound, you don't necessarily have to make the TH pronunciation. So it can just be months. Okay, you don't have to go months. It's unnecessary. So just say 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and any native speaker would understand what you're trying to say. You know, we have 5 months till the delivery, 6 months till the delivery. You don't have to say months. Okay, unnecessary. All right, and yeah, I think there's some problem. We're facing some problem, systematical error. But anyway, I'm seeing your words. Rick saw, but the thing is, you are so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you again. And Chuan, you said hi, teacher. Welcome. Soyeon님, you're here. Yesung님, you're here. Yes. And Ashlyn, teacher, can I ask you how to pronounce S as Z in plural? Oh, you know, when S or a Z, when it's a voiced sound, let's say like let's see, ball. All right, ball. L. When it is L, it's a voiced sound, ball, all right? And after the voice sound comes the S, then it has to be sounded as Z. So it's balls, okay? But then when there is S after a voiceless sound, for instance, like, you know, Teji just mentioned month, and th is a voiceless sound. It doesn't have a sound. Month. And then comes S, right? Then you just have to say months. So normally when it is a voice sound, it is the voiced z. And when it is a voiceless sound, it is the s. Okay? So words that I see here, for instance, space is well, actually, when you were saying the plural for space, it's spaces. Is has to be the ending sound. But when you say hour is a voiced sound. So when you put an S behind it, it's got to be hours. Same thing goes with the word new, and then S. New is a voiced sound. So you would have to say news. Okay, and let me see if there's any months or thank is a voiceless sound, voiceless. That's why you would say thanks with a voiceless and then S at the end. Okay, so it's voiced sound plus voiced Z, voiceless sound with the voiceless S. Okay, that's how you distinguish those S sounds at the end. Okay. All right. Okay, finally, I got you guys here. I got you guys with a big screen. Good, finally. And 안녕님, always thank you for uploading such valuable videos, teacher. You're welcome. My pleasure. It's my pleasure, guys. Yes. All right. And I'm going to read this passage once again, okay? Now I think things are stable. Listen carefully. Thanks for tuning into the local news hours. Hillary Art Museum will reopen this coming July after months of renovation. This major project was planned to renew the building's east wing with new galleries, an education center, and performance spaces. The reopening date will soon be announced on museum's website. Okay, so this is how you read it. This is how to read it. Okay, I'm gonna use this one. There are many screens here and it's really hard to adjust to have the best view. Okay, I want to see you guys chat and I want to see the big version of these questions. Okay, so everything's set here now. All right, now I'm gonna turn on this second passage. Okay, so let me read this for you again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 20th anniversary of Admin Express. It has been a long journey for our employees, board members, and the shareholders, but we have clearly made a great progress over the last 2 decades. Tonight, as the CEO, I would like to appreciate everyone's dedication to the company's success. Okay, so it was relatively long passage, but some of the words there could be, I think, trickier too. So look at the words and tell me what are some words that you would want me to pronounce. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to use a different mouse. Okay, just let me know if there are some words that you would like to hear me read. And Ashlyn is here. Yeah, I saw your name. Okay, so let me know if there are some words that you would like to hear. Okay. You know, especially when you're reading the word 20, Teji, you have to remember this. You cannot say 20th. That's a wrong way of saying. It's got to be 20th. Do you hear that y sound? So it's that y sound that makes the difference. It's not 20th, it's 20th. Okay, so make sure you say that. And the name of the company is Edmund. You know, like there's a name of guy, Edward, Ed, but it's not Edward, it's Edmund. So don't say Edmund, because O doesn't have a stress. So you wouldn't say Edmund, but it's more like Edmund. Do you see my mouth? It's Edmund. Okay, so it's got to be Edmund Express. And employees has the stress at the very end. It's employees. And the word shareholders, it's that HS sound you have to be careful of. Shareholders. And journey. And the word decade. Decade. And lastly, appreciate, or the word dedication. Okay, Baby Blue is asking me about the linking sound. If there are parts where there should be linking sounds, do I have to make that linking effect? 연음 처리, linking. You know what? English is a language that requires linking. Okay, so you know, us Koreans and lots of Japanese people, we have our typical way of, speaking English, right? And let me imitate how Koreans do it, how a lot of Koreans, my adult students, would read or somehow sound typical as a Korean, okay? Listen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 20th anniversary of Edmund Express. It has been a long journey for our employees, board members, and the shareholders, but we have clearly made a great progress over the last 2 decades. Tonight, as the CEO, I would like to appreciate everyone's dedication to the company's success. Okay, so this is like a typical reading of a Korean, which is, I would say, the person would have done their best job on reading it, but it's not the right way of reading English. Okay, so when you're reading English, linking is just the basic thing that you have to remember. Like, it would be more natural to say, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen," as if like tape has been pulled out. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 20th anniversary of Advertisement Express. It has been a long journey for our employees, board members, and shareholders, but we have clearly made great progress over the last 2 decades. Tonight, as the CEO, I would like to appreciate everyone's dedication to the company's success. Okay, so there's got to be that pushing sort of feeling when you're reading English, so that linking sound happens very naturally. So Baby Blue, it's not crucial, but it is part of English. It is part of English. Even if you're reading this like British English, you could make the hard T sound. Like, for instance, you would say, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 20th anniversary of Advertisement Express. It has been a long journey for our employees, board members, and but linking is just part of English. Okay, sometimes I pronounce T like British. That's fine. You can say gentlemen, gentlemen, gentlemen. Okay, but sometimes I don't pronounce T like American. Is it okay to mix both pronunciation methods? Okay, I would say just try to stick with one side. Just try to stick with American English or British English. Don't try to mix up the two. Okay, just get a hold of yourself and just go with the flow, just one side, American English or British English. And if you're comfortable speaking British English, go with that. But if your reading is more like 70 to 80% American English, pronunciation based, then I think it's better for you to practice American English. Okay, so that's my advice on that. And I would and I'd. Okay, which part is that? I would like to appreciate. I would like. So the words here, I and like, has to be sort of emphasized. It's not I would like, because would is a proverb, and you don't actually, put the stress. You don't actually read those proverbs long. So it's got to be I would like. You almost don't hear the word would when I read it. I would like. Okay? So you would just stretch out the word like longer. I would like. Okay? So I'm going to read it softly but not fast. I'll read you 2 versions. Listen carefully. This is a slower version, but more natural than the one that I did before. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 20th anniversary of Advertisement Express. It has been a long journey for our employees, board members, and the shareholders, but we have clearly made a great progress over the last 2 decades. Tonight, as the CEO, I would like to appreciate everyone's dedication to the company's success. So this is a very soft and slow version of it, and I'm gonna read it a little bit faster, which I would do if I take the actual test. Now listen carefully to my actual real version, okay? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 20th anniversary of Admin Express. It has been a long journey for our employees, board members, and the shareholders, but we have clearly made a great progress over the last 2 decades. Tonight, as the CEO, I would like to appreciate everyone's dedication to the company's success. Okay, so which one to go with? It all depends on you, but if you're comfortable reading fast, there's one thing that you have to remember. You shouldn't make any mistakes or you shouldn't stutter when you're reading fast. Okay? It's not a good thing. Making mistakes, reading fast, no. Just try to keep a moderate speed and try not to make mistakes is what I would like to recommend you guys. Okay? All right, so that was part 1. It was all about reading. Okay, guys? Any question about part 111? Let me know if you have any questions that you would like to ask me about. Oh, I don't have my mineral water. I mean the carbonated water today. I just have my mineral water. Okay, no question. Okay, well, I guess you guys are all cleared with part 1, so I guess I can move on to part 2. No problem. Okay, I guess my tips were very clear, loud and clear. Okay, all right, and here goes the picture for part 2. Okay, so you see a picture, sorry. Only one picture appears on each test. And this is a picture, yes. You see a lot of things happening. And it is very certain, it's very clear that this is a certain location, right? So it's better to say that this is some place than just to say this is inside, okay? So this is a picture taken inside is something you could say if you're not sure where this place is, right? But we all know that this is someplace, right? So type in some words related to this picture. Let me know what are some expressions that you recognize. Yes? What are some expressions? What's the place? What are people doing? The word here is wrong. Okay. Any words? Nobody's talking. Is it that hard? Is it that hard? This, okay. There's some Konglish that could be thought of. Like some people might say this is 슈퍼, but 슈퍼 is a Konglish word, okay? Looking at a purse. Purse, good expression. There is a woman standing in front of a, okay, POS, a counter. Let's call that a counter. In front of the counter or behind the counter, okay? And 안녕님, this is a picture taken in a store and there are 5 people in this picture. And what I noticed first is a woman standing and holding a bill. Really? Where's the bill? It's a wallet, or you can call it a purse, okay? And she's wearing, okay, she's holding some cash there. Okay, she's holding some cash. And standing in line at the cashier, good. Hyun, that was a very good expression. And this is a grocery store. Sejun, you got it right, at the grocery store. But you know, you'll be mentioning grocery store in the very beginning, which is the first time you're mentioning the location's name. So it's better to say at a location. You have to say at a location, okay? And Ashlyn, this is a picture taken in a market and there are many people in this picture. Great start. That was a perfect start. Sejun, picture taken at a grocery store. Remember that? It's the first time as saying that word, then it's got to be a grocery store. Okay? And Baby Blue, you said people are waiting in line to pay for their groceries. Good. Pay for their purchase or pay for their groceries. That's the perfect one to say. And on the left side of the picture, I can see a woman. Yup. She has blonde hair and she's wearing a jacket. I wouldn't call that a jacket. I would call that a cardigan. Yes, she's wearing a cardigan. Cardigan. In Korean, we call it cardigan, but it's cardigan. Okay, cardigan. And she's holding a wallet and looking into it, and maybe she's looking for some cash. Yes, I think so too. I think she's looking for some cash too. And customers are standing in line for counting at the grocery store. Okay, Chinuk님, you got two things wrong. First thing you got wrong is for counting. You don't say counting. The right word of saying is what Baby Blue said on the top. She said paying for their groceries. Paying for their groceries. Okay, and it's not a grocery store, it's a grocery store. Yeah, you got those two wrong, so take note of it. And Ashlyn, in front of her, there is a basket and there are some vegetables in the basket. Right, there are some vegetables. I think they are celeries and some carrots. That's what I recognize. Maybe some cucumbers as well. And wow. And Kizusu said, this is a picture taken at a grocery store and people are lining up at a counter and the woman is about to pay for her vegetables. Yes, that's so true. Lining up. Okay, yeah, people are standing in line, or you could say people are lining up. But when you say line up, it means people are gathering to make a line. But right now, people are already standing in line. So there's a little difference to that. So it's better to say people are just standing in line. Okay? And Ashlyn said, on the right side of the picture, I can see a woman. She has curly hair and she's wearing a red apron, which is true. And she's holding cash and looking at a screen. Good. In the background, I can see many people and maybe they're customers and maybe they are buying some food. Very well done. I like how Ashlyn is using very simple expressions. Yes, very short sentences and everything seems to be correct. And that's the way you aim for level 7. No complicated, no hard expressions, just simple, easy, correct words and correct expressions and grammars. That's the best way to go. Good job. And Baby Blue, in the middle of the picture, there's a basket which is full of vegetables. I love how Baby Blue said be full of, which is full of vegetables. That's another good expression there. And annyeong, it seems like they are checking out. Is it okay checking out? That is a perfect expression you could say here. They are standing at a checkout counter. I can see a checkout counter, or people are checking out. People are checking out. Okay? Normally, when you say check out, we think about hotels, right? You know, hotel checkout is also checkout. And when you're checking out from a grocery store, that's also called a checkout. That's why it's called a checkout counter. Okay. And Grace H, people are standing in line waiting for payment, waiting to pay something. And there is a basket which is filled with vegetables. Good. 밀떡님, a woman is standing in front of a counter while looking for. Okay, it's not finding, it's looking. When you say find something, you already found it. You know, so you would have to say looking for some cash, looking for. And Teiji, they are 4 people lined up or standing in line. Okay, and the first person seems to be trying to get some money out of her wallet. Okay, overall everything is correct, but Teiji, try to keep your sentences short. Notice how I said Ashlyn or Baby Blue is using short sentences and they're getting everything right, so it's better and more safer. I guess it's safer to use shorter sentences. Okay, good. Everybody did a great job, and this is my version of the answer to sum up everything that you guys just mentioned. So listen up. This is a picture, yes, look at the timer, taken at a grocery store, and there are several people in this picture. On the right side of the picture, there is a woman, and she looks like a cashier. She has curly hair, and she's wearing a red apron. She is standing in front of a counter and helping the customers. She's also holding some cash in her hand. On the left side of the picture, I can see several customers who are standing in line. One of them is looking at some items near the counter, and one of them is holding a wallet and she's looking into it. I think she's trying to look for some cash, additional cash or something. And in front of her, there's a basket full of vegetables and maybe people are checking out from the grocery store. Okay, so this is what I said. They are checking out from the grocery store. They are checking out from the grocery store. So when I first mentioned the word grocery store, the grocery store, I would say this is a picture taken at a grocery store. At a grocery store. And when I mentioned it again, which was the very last sentence, I said maybe people are checking out from the grocery store. Maybe people are checking out from the grocery store. Okay? So there's a slight difference when you say a and when you say the. And Seojun, you have to remember this, okay? It's a very small thing, but you shouldn't neglect it if you want to aim for level 7. It's a very basic thing in English, okay? All right, so any questions that you would like to ask about part 2, pictures? I have a little tip to give you guys. You know, nowadays I see a lot of pictures which has something like this. You know, people are looking into something. Like, this is my glass of water, not glass, a cup of water, and I'm looking into, right? I'm looking into the cup, okay? And you could say she is, you know, putting something into the cup. I'm putting my hand into the cup. And I'm taking something out from the cup. I'm taking something out from the cup, okay? So we see a lot of pictures using those expressions. I think ETS wants us to be able to say those expressions. So looking into a bag, looking into a cup, not looking at something. Like right now, you could say she's looking at her phone, right? But no, I'm looking into a cup or I'm looking into a bag. And you could say putting something in or taking something out. Putting something in or taking something out. Those are some expressions that ETS is challenging you on, so make sure you guys remember that. And if any nice somebody would type those expressions there on our chat room, it would be very, very helpful for everybody sharing this precious time together. So please do type it in, okay? Looking into something, putting something in, and taking something out, okay? Very important expressions. And one more thing that I want to point out is, you know, when there's a stairway, there are some stairs or there are some steps, or you can say there is a stairway. People are walking upstairs or people are walking downstairs. Walking up the stairway or walking down the stairway. You should also be able to say those expressions because from time to time we've been seeing a lot of these pictures with the stairway where people are going up and where people are coming down, walking down. Okay, so those are some expressions that you would like to check on. Kyungyeon-님, thank you very much. Putting something in, taking something out, looking into something, right? And there was a picture where there was a scale, 저울, a scale, and you know this person was putting some bananas on, putting something on the scale. Okay, normally scale is very flat, it has a flat surface, so you would say he is putting some bananas on the scale. He is putting something on the scale is how you would say that. Okay, so those were some expressions to look into something, to take out something, stand in line, to put something in, or to put something on a surface, put something on a scale is what you have to remember. Somebody, could you please write walking upstairs and walking downstairs? Okay, that's also very important. There is a stairway, there are stairs, or there are steps, and you are walking up, you're walking down, or you can walking upstairs, or you're walking downstairs. That's also very important. Okay? All right. Wow, we're already done with the second part. To walk down the stairs. Good. Hyun, thank you very much. And the other one would be to walk down the stairs, right? Okay, so we're moving down to part 3. Part 3 is a very, very controversial part. Yeah, it's getting harder and harder. And I think, thank you, Chris Evans. I think ETS is trying to see whether people could actually speak promptly by, getting these topics really, really challenging and difficult. For instance, nowadays they like to talk about apps. They like to talk about social medias or advertisements and streaming services. Yes. So I remember on our last live show, I talked about Netflix, how we use Netflix, and nowadays we watch I don't know about Japan. Tell me how it is in Japan, Teiji. Do you guys use Netflix a lot? Because in Korea, a lot of people use Netflix. And when we use Netflix, we pay monthly fee, and normally we split the cost with our friends, right? So one membership could cover up to 3 to 4 different IDs or users. So we would split the cost, and we'd share the monthly payment, but we can still use different devices and watch those movies and dramas. And there are some programs which are just Netflix original, so which means that we can only watch it on Netflix. So those are very, very interesting, some shows there. And yeah, streaming services is what they often asked us in Korea. So if you guys are taking the TOEIC speaking test elsewhere, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna confront something similar. So make sure to be prepared for those topics. And today is another topic, if you're not ready for, you would be very, very I would say very, very worried about, okay? Or nervous, or yeah. So it's about advertisements. And honestly speaking, I don't watch TV nowadays, especially on weekdays. Oh, Kimura, Mikihiro. Hello, I'm writing memo as you guys mentioning English information during watching on this YouTube. Good. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about me not watching TV anymore because, I'm busy. I'm working full day, the whole day. Oh, I don't like my hair like this. Okay, so since I'm working all day long and I come back home right before midnight, not because I'm partying, because I'm working, and it's really hard to watch TV. So I, honestly watch TV on my phone using those streaming services, or I would rather watch YouTube, some channels that I follow or my videos. And when I watch YouTube videos, I get to see all these advertisements, right? So we skip sometimes the advertisements, but it's mandatory for us to watch it for several seconds. And sometimes if the advertisement is quite interesting, I would just stay watching. Oh, Jinnim. Yes, I speak English on my live shows. Yeah, but I try to use easy English. So try to understand. Oh, yes, in Japan, Netflix is also very popular. All right, so when we're watching Netflix, when I am watching YouTube, I see advertisements. I see advertisements about phones. I see advertisements about beauty products. I see advertisements about apps. Yes. So, recently, actually, I saw an advertisement about an app called Calm. Yes. And it was a very, I actually downloaded it. Yeah. I want to show you guys what kind of thing it is. It's called Calm. they say it's like number one. Actually, it was a follower, but now it's the number one meditating app. So it's an app called Calm, and it's for meditation, and they read you short stories, and they would talk about some good things, which would, in a very calm voice, very soothing voice. So you can choose the voices, you can choose the stories, and if you pay the membership, you get to have like a more access to more stories. But you know, I'm cool with those short ones, and it's really helpful when I listen to it as I go to sleep. It's very soothing, it's very calm. So this is, it says good evening Gwen, it's personalized as well, customized. So for me, that advertisement looked very interesting. And when you say advertisement and you saw that, you would say it looked interesting. You could say it looked interesting. Okay, so I purchased it, I downloaded it, and I'm using it, and I'm satisfied. So for me, it was very informative, it was very helpful, and it was effective. Okay, and Teji, you said I usually see advertisements. Oh, why did you cancel it? I was reading it. Okay. Oh, you work full day, you skip advertisement. Oh, it's sometimes it's mandatory to watch. Yeah, you have to watch it for like 3 to 4 seconds or 5 seconds before you skip it, right? So those are the things that you might be able to talk about. Okay, so this is the actual first question. How often do you see advertisements, and where do you usually see them? A very essential question that you could have guessed that they would ask about advertisement. Okay, I wonder what this hair is doing here. It's sticking out. Okay, so guys, think about it. Share your answers with me here. I am really happy to hear your answers. I would love to hear your answers. Yes. Let me know what your answers are. I feel really happy today because right before the show, I had 3 ice cream bars. Yes. Ashlyn, you said, I see advertisement almost every day and I see them on TV. Good answer. And if you can add just one more simple sentence, you could say it's very helpful. Okay. And it's very informative, because advertisements are to, you know, provide you with some kind of information, right? So you could say it's informative or it's very helpful. And Mikihira Kimura-san, how about on the train? When I go working to the company, when you go to work, or on your way to work, you can, yes, use your smartphone on the train or on the subway, and maybe you see advertisement on the train. Good. Baby Blue, I see advertisements almost every day. I can see them everywhere, such as TVs, internet, and so on. Okay, on TV, on the internet. Okay, I can see them everywhere on TV, on the internet. Chris Evans, I see advertisements about more than 10 ads a day, 10 times a day, because I'm into YouTube nowadays. A very good expression. I'm into YouTube nowadays. I'm always on YouTube. Okay, whenever it's an online platform, you can say on. I'm on YouTube. Okay, and Hyun, I see advertisements whenever I watch videos on YouTube. Perfect sentence. They are so annoying, and sometimes I have to skip them to continue watching my videos. That is also perfect. That's literally what people do, yeah. And Angibomnim, I see advertisements almost every day, and I see them on my smartphone. It was near perfect. Good job. Annyeongnim, I see advertisements 3 times a week, and I usually see them on SNS. Annyeongnim, it's on social media, on the internet, on YouTube. Okay, it's got to be on, such as Instagram, YouTube, and so on. Well done. And Yesongnim, I see advertisements once a day. I usually use them on social media. I usually see them on social media, such as Instagram, Facebook, and so on. Yesongnim, I very much liked your answer. Yes. Yes, Hyun, be into something means I'm really into something. I really like something these days. And I see ads before shutting my eyes. I see ads before shutting my eyes. Okay, all right. So you're watching ads right before you're like closing your eyes to go to sleep. That's what you're trying to say, right? Kizusu, I see advertisements every 3 minutes when I'm using my laptop. right? Yes. And 경연님, I see advertisement almost every day and I can see them everywhere. Especially I see it many times when I use smartphone. I usually see it during commute on the bus. Okay, so this is the thing about Teiji's answer, and you're not intending to see the advertisements on the bus to work, right? So I would say, when you want to say it this way, bus, then you could say, when I am on the bus to go to work, when I commute on the bus, when I commute to work by bus, it's boring. So I use my smartphone and I use the internet. And while I use the internet, I, see some advertisements. And sometimes they're useful and sometimes they are useless. Okay? So it's not the bus. Or if you say, some advertisements on the side of the bus or inside the bus, there are screens nowadays. So maybe you're watching some advertisements while you're on the bus. Maybe you're meaning that could be one option, right? So this is what I would say. How often do you see advertisements and where do you see them? I see advertisements every day. I see them very, very often throughout the day. And I usually see them on the internet. When I use an app or when I use the internet, I always see them. And sometimes they're useful and sometimes they're not. Okay, so I see them online while I'm using the internet. While I'm commuting to work, while I am using the internet, okay? Is, I think, what normally people are doing or facing when they're seeing an advertisement, right? While. Okay, and let's move on to the second question, which is, when was the last time you got a text message for an advertisement and what was the advertisement about? When was the last time you got a text message for an advertisement and what was the advertisement about? Okay, so for this, I wanted to share my list of messages I got. Okay, so the first message here on the very top is about stock market. Okay, so I received a message about stock market, and the second one is from my supermarket that I go to, and they say there are a list of things that are on sale. So pork is on sale, beef from American beef is on sale, rice is on sale, eggs are on sale, milk is on sale, ramen is on sale. So I got one from a grocery store. And the third one is from this underwear store called Advertise in Gangnam. They say they have their autumn and winter selection. So come and look at them. They're giving a special promotion. They're having a special promotion. Yeah, so this is what they're talking about. Okay, this is what they're talking about. When was the last time you got a text message for an advertisement? And what was the advertisement about? Okay, it was about a stock market. It was about a supermarket. And it was about a sale event at an underwear store. It was about something. Okay, so when was the last time? Well, don't think too much. You can say this morning, or I normally tell my students to say yesterday. It's like the easiest way to approach the past event. So just say yesterday, I got a text message for an advertisement and it was about something. And it was useful, it was not useful or unuseful. So Baby Blue, you said, I got a text message from the department store in my neighborhood. They noticed me about their, they notified me. They notified me, notified me about their promotion this weekend, and it was so attractive that I wanted to go shopping right away. Good. Very good answer. Anyoung님, the last time I got a text message was yesterday. It was about furniture, specifically table and chairs, okay? And the last time Ashley got a furniture was for yesterday, and it was about some makeup. Makeup is on sale, so they gave me some coupon. Ooh, good. Kibom님, I got a text message for an advertisement 2 hours ago. True. The advertisement was about an online market sale event. Good. Okay, guys, All of your answers seem totally fine, but you know what? You are not saying whether it was helpful, whether it was useful, whether it was not useful, or whether it was annoying. You're not adding your, feelings towards getting those advertisement, okay? KK Kim님, 여기 외국이야? Yeah, we're speaking in English, but I know how to read Korean, so be careful what you're saying, okay? And we're talking about English, that's why we're speaking English here. Okay, and 경현님, the last time I got a text message was yesterday, and it was promotion about a new product from my favorite store. And Kizisu got a message about karaoke. Cool, karaoke. And Evans, the last time I got a text message was yesterday, and it was about an online shopping center to sell their items. Perfect. And Tadashi, in Japan, I don't think you often receive text messages for ad. Texting is not that common. I have to make a fake story to answer this question. You know what? This is the issue. Sometimes all these questions are not answerable. It's not easy to answer, and sometimes you cannot relate to them. So Tadashi, it's totally fine to make up story or tell fake things. They're not trying to figure out whether you're being honest or not. This is not an honest, truth or dare kind of situation, okay? It's about whether you could speak English or not. You can just even honestly say, in Japan, we don't get those text messages, text message ads. So I don't get it. I cannot remember it. So honestly speaking, I really don't know how to answer this. This would be a fine way to show them that you cannot relate to the question, but I know how to speak English, so I'm expressing my situation to you in English. Okay? 예성님, yesterday I got a text message for an advertisement. It was about insurance plan. I didn't like it because I didn't need it. It is usually known to get a text message for an advertisement, which is true. Good. Well done. So I would say this morning, I got a text message for an advertisement. Actually, I received many text messages. I received some about marketplace, a shopping mall, and also about a stock exchange market. And some of them were useful and some of them were not useful. Okay. My answer was a little bit longer than 15 seconds. Oh, and I get this question a lot. Like people say, oh, teacher, sometimes I'm slow, so the time's ticking, and sometimes, my answer gets cut off. Should I keep talking or should I just stop if there's only 1 or 2 seconds? Okay, the best answer for you here is just keep talking. Okay, they're going to cut you off anyway. All right? So when the time's up, there's going to be popping up. There's going to be a little thing popping up saying, stop, we're recording your answer. So until that pops up, just keep on talking. That's the best thing that you can do, okay? You want as much as you could say to be recorded there, okay? You want as many words as you can possibly say to be recorded for your answer, so just keep on talking. That is the best thing to do, okay? All right, Chris, teacher, I have a question. I used an online shopping center, but I used their products. Is it correct? It is the correct way of expressing. Yes, online shopping center was advertising their products. It's a perfect way of saying. I will focus on memo tonight. Yes. Don't worry. Yeah, you don't have to type. You can just memorize. Write down some things that you think are necessary. Okay, Kimura-san. All right, and we're going to move on to the last question of part 3, which is, do you think that sending text messages is an effective way to advertise a product or service? Now, basically, it's the same thing, right? Basically, it's the same thing, asking it over and over again. But tell them if you receive a text message, you would go and buy something, or tell them even if you receive a text message ad, you wouldn't go because, it's useless. It's not for you. So if you need something, like for me, I don't rely on text message ads. I would rather look for some information online. For instance, recently I had to buy I wanted to buy some pork. And nowadays, I can't even find time to go to a supermarket, go to a grocery store, which is like right across from the street. Because by the time I come back home, it's like almost midnight and they're closed. So nowadays, I just do lots of online shopping and it's very convenient because they deliver it right in front of my house, right? So if I need something, I don't necessarily go to my text message, page. I would just look it up online and I would buy them online. So I don't think text messages are an effective way to advertise something. I don't know about you guys, but for me, they haven't been so attractive or useful. So I don't know, like text messages. Sometimes I don't even read it. I just erase it. Yeah. And in Korea, we use something called Kakao Talk. And that's the channel that we use to send those short messages to friends. And if you are a loyal customer, normally you are added to their friend list and they're going to send some messages to you. Maybe those messages could be helpful. But I don't know. I am not a huge fan of text message advertisements. What's your opinion? Let me know. Yeah. Let's see. Some ads. Actually, what's that? No. Some ads here. Oh, I got this one advertisement from a dermatologist. Dermatologist is 피부과. And they're giving a huge discount for summer, end of the summer event. They're doing some Botox discount and you can get lip fillers at half price. And there are some skin cares. Okay. And they're showing these prices. Oh, and there are the link to before and after picture. Yeah, but I didn't even check this. No, I didn't even check this. Wow. Tadashi, you said it's very effective. Actually, I received a text message advertising a new digital camera. Okay, and I bought it 1 hour after receiving it. It worked on me, which is fake. Yeah. Like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's true or false, whether it's fake or not. So it worked on me, or it worked for me. So yeah, I guess that would be an okay case, right? And Tadashi, I'm pretty sure you'll get level 7. Your English is really good. I think if you are actually saying all this in the right pronunciation, you could get level 7 180 or even higher, even level 8. Your English is really good. Hyun, so many text messages can be a bad way to advertise a product or service. Many people often do not see them very often and they can delete all those advertisements overall. So I think sending is not a good way. Oh, Hyun, you are precisely correct. Okay. And do we need to explain about our own country, places, situation? If you can, why not? If you can. You can talk about what's happening in Japan, what's happening in Vietnam, what's happening in Korea. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Tadashi, you're creating up a story or you're talking about a real matter. It's all about your English skills, okay? Ashlyn, I think that sending text messages is an effective way to advertise. Because it's very convenient. This is fake too, okay? And for example, I always use smartphone. I always have smartphone on my hands. And when I use my smartphone, I often get some text messages about advertisement and sometimes look at it and I'll buy a product. So it's effective. And Yesongnim, I don't think sending text messages is an effective way. So last month I worked at a restaurant and sometimes we send text messages to advertise our restaurant, but it wasn't effective. Yesongnim, your answer is really good. It wasn't effective. You're actually saying, telling them about your real experience, which is good, which is cool, very nice. Kimura said, okay, and JJ, okay, as a student, was about to take the test this Sunday. I was wondering if you could give me some tips on how to answer part 5 question number 10, especially the recognize the problem part. Thank you. We're getting there. We're on part 3. So if you wait a moment, we're going to get there and we're going to talk about part 5. And I'm going to give you some tips, okay? And 기범님, many applications and SNS than text messages. That's right. So I think rather than sending text messages, using the social media channel is a better way to advertise a product. Okay, so here's my answer. I don't think that sending text messages is an effective way to advertise a product or service, because nowadays people don't really, send or receive or check text messages. People use apps, and a lot of people use social media to get information about new products or services. So I think, rather than sending text messages, it's better to use the social media channels, or, don't send frequent text messages to your customers because it's annoying. And if you annoy them, they're not going to come back to you, right? So that's my answer. Okay, so this is how you would answer for part 3. So some topics in, Korea happens to have lots of more tests conducted than any other part in the world. So some of the topics that appeared in Korea are streaming services. I'm telling you guys again, they asked us a lot about streaming services, and they were asking us about vending machines recently. How often do you use vending machines, and what kind of products did you buy? And they were asking about, athletic brands and clothings. Athletic brands, which we could say Nike. Nike is all over the world. So you bought sneakers, you bought sweatshirts, or you could say you bought sweatpants. Okay, and streaming services and social media, online advertisements, and last month they asked us about donation. I know you all hate to talk about donations, but from time to time, they ask you about donating some money, okay? They're going to ask you, when was the last time you donated money, and where did you make donation to, and how do you make donation? Like, do you make donations in person, or do you make donations online? They ask you those kind of things about donations. So yeah, be ready for it. Those are some topics that ETS likes to ask you guys about. Okay, so if you are going for the test in the near weekends, then be ready for them. Okay, so this is a chart for part 4. Here it is. Okay, so look at it. I'll give you the question right away, guys, so you guys can work on the answer. Okay, so the question is, what time will the first session start, and who's the speaker? Very easy and simple question. What time will the first session start, and who is the speaker? What time will the first session start, and who is the speaker? Is the question. If you're ready, if you know the answer, type it in. What time will the first session start, and who is the speaker? Wow. I know it takes some time to type that answer, huh? Okay. Oh my God. So what time will the first session start, and who is the speaker? And this type of chart is the one that you get to see most often. It's the one that you get to see all the time. Where, what time, the date. Oh, 안녕님, you said the first session will start from... The first session will start at 9 a.m. Yes, just like what Ashlyn said. The first session will start at, not from 2. It will start at 9 a.m. Oh, 기범님, you got it wrong. Kizusu, you got it wrong. Okay, start from 9 a.m. is fine. But you cannot say the first session start from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. It starts at 9 a.m. and it starts from 9 a.m. And you could also say, like Eric said, begin at 9 a.m. And Gabrielle Brown will give the speech on future of software industry. Perfectly said. Okay? So a lot of people get it wrong. It will start at 9 a.m. It'll start from 9 a.m. But if you said it'll start from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., that is wrong. Okay? You cannot start something from A to B. It starts at one time, right? Ken Chang, the first session will be a keynote speech on future of software industry given by Gabrielle Brown at 9 a.m. Wow, that's a long sentence. You could sort of like split that out into two. And Yesong, you said the first session will start at 9 and there will be a keynote speech on future of software industry given by Gabrielle Brown. Perfect. Will start at 9 a.m. only. Yes. Yes. Kimura, yes. That's start at 9 a.m. or start from 9 a.m. Those two are fine. Kyungyeon님, the first session will start? No, will start. You have to say will start at 9 a.m. and Gabrielle Brown is going to give a keynote speech. Okay? No B, just will start. Will start at 9 a.m. Cool. Now, guys, I'm going to move on to the second question. Listen carefully. It's the second one. I think I will have to leave at 3 p.m. for some personal matters. Will I miss any important sessions if I leave at 3? I think I will have to leave at 3 p.m. for some personal matters. Will I miss any important sessions if I leave at 3 p.m.? Okay, so I think I will have to leave at 3 p.m. for some personal matters. So will I miss any important sessions if I leave at 3 p.m.? Is the next question. Okay, I think I will have to leave at 3 p.m. So will I miss any important session if I leave at 3? Okay, so this is a kind of question that we see from time to time, and they give you certain time and says that I'll be by then, or I will have to leave, and will I miss anything? And when you compare it to the chart, it clearly shows whether the person will miss something or not. So that's what you have to say. I will have to leave at 3 p.m. So will I miss any important sessions? Will I miss any important sessions? Yes, that's the question. Let me know your answers. Oh. Wow. Given by. Closing speech given by Melinda Watson's. Yes. Or fortunately, you will not miss anything because at 3 p.m. all sessions will finish. Well, actually, it's not all session will finish. It's like some important sessions will finish. At 3 p.m. there will be a Q&A session and closing speech, which is not an important session, right? 안녕님, you're gonna miss Q&A session and closing. I think it is also important session. Would you change your schedule? 안녕님, actually Q&A and closing speech is relatively not an important session. It's not an important session, okay? So you could just say you will not miss any important sessions, okay? Nothing important really. The whole thing will pretty much be done by 3. After 3 p.m., we will only have a closing ceremony. A closing speech, closing ceremony, good. Kizusu, if you were to leave at 3 p.m., you will miss the Q&A session and closing, and I think that's not so important. Yeah. And no, there will be just Q&A session and closing from 3 p.m. Ken Chang's answer is perfectly fine. Actually, there is a Q&A session and closing by Melinda Watson at 3. And Kibom-nim, fortunately, you don't need to miss any important. You don't need to. It's better to say you will not. You will not or you won't miss an important session. Okay? And there will be just Q&A session and closing by Melinda Watson. I think pretty much everybody understood what it means, right? Fortunately, there will be only Q&A session and closing conducted by, okay, Melinda Watson. You don't need to be afraid to miss any session. You won't miss any session, is what you could say. Well done. Well done. Good job, everybody. Well done. And I'll give you the last question, okay? Be ready. Listen. I am really interested in what Eva Fields has to say at the seminar. Eva Fields. And during which sessions will I get to hear from her? I'm really interested in what Eva Fields has to say at the seminar. During which sessions will I get to hear from her? Eva Fields. Eva Fields. Tell me anything about her sessions. If you have minor mistakes, you'll get level 8, but 190. Yeah, 190 level 8. Level 8 has 2 scores, 190 and 200. And like with very, very like slight mistakes, 200 is possible, but if you made like noticeable mistakes, but near perfect, then you'll get 190. Yeah. And, So the last question is, I'm really interested in what Eva Fields has to say at the seminar. During which sessions will I get to hear from her? Eva Fields. Okay. Wow. I feel so full today. Yeah. Okay. Eva Fields. What does Eva Fields say? What will she say? There are 2. Ashlyn, you said there are 2. At 10 a.m., Eva Fields will lead a session on mobile social application development. And at 1 p.m., there will be software design and process led by... there will be a session on software design and process led by. Okay? There are 2. You can't say held by. You would have to say led by, or there will be a speech given by. Yes. And Evans, there are 2 scheduled sessions. First, she will conduct a session on mobile phone application, and plus another program on design and process will be led by her. I really loved how Chris Evans, said that answer. It was clean and clear. And Eric, there are 2 sessions given by Eva Fields. And the first one is, okay, so Eric, I think you need to look at the answer given by Chris Evans, because you're missing some words there, okay? And Yesung, there are 2. First, at 10 a.m., there will be a lecture on mobile social application development given by Eva Fields. Next, at 1 p.m., Eva Fields will give a lecture on software design and process. Or, Eric, you can look at the answer of Jung Ye-song, the answer right below yours. That's another one that you could take note of. Yes. Kibom-nim, the first session starts at 10 a.m. and it is about... Okay, now your sentence is a little too long. Kibom-nim, also look at the answer of Ye-song. Please look at the answer of Yesong. Nicholas Gubardem. There are 2 sessions. First at 10 a.m. Eva Fields will lead a seminar on social development. Then in the afternoon at 1 p.m. she will lead another seminar on soft design. Okay, Nicholas, I really liked your answer too. Kyunghyun, okay, EF is going to give a speech and then there will be a speech on. Kyunghyun, your answer is fine. Royce, okay, there are 2 types of sessions by, and there, first you can take a session. All right, take a session, and from there will be regarding, okay, Royce, is it Roisi? All right, your answer has minor flaws, so why don't you take a look at the answer of Eric? Okay, no, Chris Evans. Look at the answer of Chris Evans. Or let's look at the last one. Eva Fields will give 2 speeches. First one starts at 10 and it's about, and the second one starts at 1 p.m. That's about software design and process. Okay, your answer is fine too. The last one on that list. Ken Chang. There will be 2 sessions given by Eva Fields. First one will be on mobile social application development at 10, and second one will be on Ken Chang's answer is totally fine too. Ken Chang. And Yu Huan Shun, is it Shun? Am I reading it right? Lin. Eva Fields will hood 2 sessions. Hood. Okay, I don't know what you're trying to say. Hood. That's a wrong expression to use. One is mobile social application development. It will be hold. Okay, Lin, take a note of the answer of Ken Chang. Okay, Ken Chang's answer is the one that you should refer to. Okay, so overall, everybody gave the right answer. But, you know, the thing is, it's not that hard to notice the answer. Oh, it's hold. It's not really hard to figure out where or what the answer is. It's all about how you display the answer. So when you are saying your answer, it's got to be in the correct grammars. That's the most important thing for part 4. Okay, so make sure you're using the right way, right expressions to display your answer. And that's the way to go. Yep. So everybody got that right. Yay! Yay! Okay, now it's time for part 5, which is the fun part. Yes, I get to read you guys the situation. Yeah, I have to, let me sit this way because my script is on this side of the screen. Okay, so this is a part where I get to read. Oh, Chris has a question. I want to ask you one more question. Doesn't matter idioms or reduced expression when we... No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all about speaking. I mean, spoken English, the spoken language itself is a little different than the written language. So a lot of students ask me, is it okay to say if I say wanna or if I say gonna? It's totally fine, okay? That's how spoken language is. That's how spoken English is. Yes. Chris, I just said it. It's fine. It's fine to say wanna and gonna. Yeah, no problem. All right. So guys, listen carefully. And you know, in Korea, while you're listening to the test questions or while you're preparing the answers, you can take notes. So right now, if you're sitting in front of your desk, if you have a pen or a pencil ready, and if you have a piece of paper, take note of what I'm saying through the message, okay? Listen carefully, guys. Hello, this is Olivia Hudson, your assistant. I was put in charge of planning for the senior computer workshop, which will be held at our community center today. Since it will be a full-day workshop, we have decided to provide lunch boxes to all the participants. Now, we have 30 people who have registered for the workshop, so I made sure to order enough food for everyone with our usual caterer last week. This morning, I called them to double-check the order, and it seems like there has been some miscommunication. They thought that I placed an order for 13 lunch boxes instead of 30. I asked them if they could still provide enough lunch boxes for today, but it seems like they don't have enough ingredients to prepare more lunch boxes. The event will start soon, so we don't have much time to resolve this matter. Now, since you're my director, I really need your advice on what I need to do in this situation. Please give me a call back at extension 32 once you get this message. Okay? Thanks. Bye. All right, so this is a part where in your 1-minute answer, 2 things are required. First is you have to summarize the message, the one that you just heard. You have to cover up mostly like what the situation is, what the problem is, in maybe 3 to 4 sentences. You have to summarize the whole thing in 3 to 4 sentences. So that's half of your answer. And the latter half, the later half would be some suggestions, some solutions, some actions that you could take in order to resolve the situation. And by using the template that I'm showing you here right now, yes, this is a template I always tell you guys to use. If you want to have a look at it, just pause the screen right here now. Yeah, you can have a better look. Screenshot the thing. Yeah, I'm okay with you guys using it. And, yep, That's how you can speak for 1 minute. Okay? So try to summarize the message that you heard, okay, in 3 to 4 sentences. Hi, Yes Hong. Hello, I know you're here, Yes Hong. Okay, so summarize, and then try to think of your solutions. Okay, so the very first thing that you have to do right now, guys, is to summarize the whole thing. Where is this person working? What is she in charge of? What is the problem? That's what you have to summarize right now. Let me know what your answers are. Hyun, you're really fast. There was a miscommunication. She ordered 30 lunch boxes and they prepared only 13 for the meeting, and you don't have much time to resolve the problem. Perfect. And Ashlyn, I heard that you are in charge of the full day workshop. Yes, and there's a problem because there's not enough food. Not enough food for everyone. So you'd like to get some help. Yes, there's not enough food is perfectly fine. Very well done. Yes. Sejun, you're working at the community center. You're in charge of today's workshop. However, there's a problem because you don't have enough lunch boxes. Perfect, Sejun. You don't have enough lunch boxes. Yes. And what are some solutions, right? I think you guys got this correct. You guys know the situation. Oh my gosh. Olivia, this is Anyang. I heard that you ordered 30 lunch boxes. However, there are only 13 lunch boxes due to miscommunication. Wow. I like the way how you use the word miscommunication. Due to miscommunication. Perfect. Kizusu, I heard that you're organizing the event and you ordered lunch boxes for 30 people, but the catering company misunderstood the numbers, so you don't have enough lunch boxes. Kizusu's, summarization is perfect. Hi, this is Jerry. Okay, Jerry, I heard you are the one who's in charge of the workshop. However, I can see that you made a mistake ordering the portion of the food. Okay, now, the language used here is a little too complicated, all right? It doesn't have to go all the way that much complicated. I think the way Kizusu summarized the whole situation is very good, very clear, no mistake at all. And that's what you would like to do if you are aiming for level 8, okay? And Teiji, thank you for uploading your answer. Please purchase similar lunch boxes from other stores. I believe it's stores, right? And moreover, you should explain. You should not explaining. You should explain properly to the participants. And why don't you provide a dessert for service? Oh, not for service. It's as compensation. As compensation. Compensation is something that you do to amend your mistake. You do something to say sorry about your mistake. So as compensation, okay? And I'm sorry to hear about the situation. Hello, Umbi. This is Umbi. And you lack of food supplies from caterers, and you got 13 lunch boxes out of 30 boxes. Umbi-nim, your sentences are a little too complicated. Maybe you might want to keep it simple, okay? Look at the answer of on the top, there's Kizusu's answer and there's Lee Sejun's answer. And I really like those two answers, okay? And Ashlyn, I think it's a good idea to call the other restaurants, buy some of the food. Why don't you offer free snacks for everyone? Yeah, finger snacks, finger food, right? And in Korea, the easiest way to do is just order some fried chicken. Yeah, in Korea, fried chicken can be ordered and they would be there in 20 to 30 minutes. Pizza, worldwide, wherever you go, you can always order pizza. And in Korea, McDonald's, they provide delivery service for free. You don't even have to use Uber Eats. So ordering some McDonald's is fine too. Yesong, I heard that you are in charge of the workshop. You don't have enough lunch boxes for participants. Yes, Hong, you did a good job. Sejun, explain our situation to participants and order. Why don't you order? Sejun, Why don't you ordering no? Why don't you order fast food? Okay? I get frustrated when you get the grammars wrong. 서준, why don't you order? Okay. 희범, I heard that you are in charge of our full day workshop because there isn't enough food for everyone. Okay. And I think it's a good idea to rush the vendor for faster delivery. And why don't you look for another supplier? Yes, another caterer. 예송님, you can say another caterer. Yeah, okay. Have them share the food or make a phone call telling them how the dilemma is. Okay, now again, dilemma, you don't have to use that kind of word. It's too heavy. It's too worthy. Those answers are too heavy, okay? Have them prepare their own lunch. I think that's a good solution. And Akimoto, how about ordering additional lunch boxes from a restaurant nearby? That should be helpful. Very clear. And also it would be good to ask some participants to eat at our cafeteria, which has a nice lunch menu. And they should enjoy the meal. That's also a nice way of putting it. Okay, so I think I've got enough ideas. And this is how I'm going to say by using my tablet. Listen to my answer, everybody. And today, I'm gonna make it very casual. I'm gonna be like very laid back kind of person. And I'm the director. Hi, girl, Olivia. Yeah, this is the director, Gwen. I know, I got your message. I heard that you've been put in charge of planning for this full day workshop for the seniors. And since it's a full day workshop, you ordered some lunch boxes for them. That was cool. But there's a problem, right? Because you ordered 30 boxes, but they only have 13 boxes ready, and now you don't have enough food for them. So you'd like to get some help with this matter, huh? Well, first of all, I'm really sorry to hear about the situation. However, I'm happy to say that there is a way to help you out. And after looking into the situation, I came up with the following suggestions. Well, first of all, I think it is a good idea to order some pizza or some chicken for them. And when the food arrives, just explain to the participants about the situation and they should understand. Well, those are my suggestions. And my answer got cut off, right? I wasn't able to say goodbye to Olivia, right? But that is fine, guys, okay? When I say use the template is to like sort of organize your answer. Like half of it should be summarizing and half of it should be solution part, okay? But it's not that you have to finish the template in 1 minute. Like you have to it's like you must put goodbye in 1 minute, because like goodbye doesn't earn you any points actually. Okay, like my answer just now, it's been cut off, but I still get full marks. I get level 8. It just works like that because they're fine. They're okay with me not saying goodbye, and I was just like keep talking on and on and on and on, and that's what it matters. Okay, so when you're memorizing and using the template, make sure you can use it without any like stutters in the middle. Like I see some people showing those raters that, oh, hold on a second, I'm trying to memorize my template. That's not good. That's not good. You shouldn't be showing them that you're memorizing something, right? So, oh, is your point that we don't need to use the template to get the highest score? I mean, I suggest you using it, but you shouldn't sound like you're using a template. Did I sound like I was using a template? I try to sound very natural, right? 안녕, you say I'm genius, thank you very much. But the most important thing here is you may use a template, but you have to sound natural. You shouldn't sound like you're memorizing something. That's the whole thing. That's the most important thing. Throughout the test, you shouldn't sound like you are memorizing something. Okay? You have to sound natural. So I was like, oh girl, this is the director. I know, you did something, right? I sounded natural. That's the whole thing. Okay? Because when you go take the test, you're wearing the headset and you're like sitting there and you're like, oh my God, I have to get level 6. I have to get level 7. I have to get level 8. And you're so tensed. You're so nervous. And you sound very, like a robot. And it's not good. It doesn't do you any good. period. And here's our last question. Okay, so our last question says, in your opinion, which of the following is the most effective way to relieve stress? Stress. Okay. Watching TV, cooking, and hanging out with friends. Okay, so watching TV, cooking, and hanging out with friends. Actually, if I have to choose one, I would say hanging out with friends. But for me, nowadays, it's more like sports, exercising, because I'm really into sports nowadays. Yeah. I play squash, I do yoga, and I ride a bicycle every single day. I commute to work by bike. And I love exercising. If I have to choose from elevator to walking up the stairs, I would walk up the stairs, even if it's like 10th or 11th or 12th floor. I mean, that's not an option to me. I love just walking and exercising. So that's a way of relieving stress to me. But what are your choices? Like watching TV, a lot of people would do that. I mean, I would consider watching YouTube the same thing. You know, nowadays people watch TV on YouTube channels, right? Cooking. I'm into cooking. I sort of cook. Yes, I do lots of keto baking. So that's one of it, but I'm not good at it. So when I make food, it stresses me out because my food isn't so good. So cooking is not a way to relieve stress for me. But hanging out with friends definitely is. I mean, I love to hang out with friends. I love to meet them. And sometimes I would have drinks with them. And I would, actually this room, there is a very, very big table here right now I'm sitting in front of, and it could fit like 8 people around the table. So we would come here at my house and have a small house party. And yeah, that's a great time to have, or, to relieve stress. And yeah, I see you guys writing. 기범님. Okay. All right. 안녕님. I think hanging out with friends is the most effective because it's same as building social relationship. That's true. It's building social relationship, right? Baby Blue, hanging out with friends. Me and my friends enjoy going to concert. Okay, so Baby Blue, it's not me and my friends. It's my friends and I. My friends and I. Okay? And we all like K-pop concerts, so we go there together regularly. Great. Yes. Who are you a big fan of? Are you a fan of BTS? Are you ARMY? Let me know. And 안녕, I believe maintaining social relationship makes people happier and relieves stress. Now, 안녕, your way of approaching the answer for part 6 is not effective, okay? It's all about examples, guys. If you want to talk for a longer time, it's all about using examples. What's your example of spending time with your friends? When was a recent time you met your friends and spent time with them? Give me your actual experience. I'm interested in them. I would like to hear your actual experience with your friends. I would like to know you guys. I would like to get to know you guys. So rather than explaining something, share your experience with me, okay? Friends are in the same boat. We can rely on one another. All right, well, that's something that anybody could say. I would like to hear your story, Steve Evans. Yes. Yesong, TV, good. Get immersed in the music and feel the music together. After that, we talk about the concert. We have the same taste, so we are always on the same page. Okay, Baby Blue, that's good. Spending time with friends is the highlight of my life. Good. See, Baby Blue just told me how she spends her time with her friends, going to concerts, talking about the concert, what's happened there, and it really helps her relieve stress. Fun and all. Up until now, the only person who shared her personal story is Baby Blue. Okay? Chris, I really need an example, like your real example. Yesong, okay, so you're working at a big company, lots of workload, so stressful. Okay, so what's going to happen? Oh, you watched a TV program called 뭉쳐야 뜬다, and it was very fun. I was able to get rid of stress. You see, guys, like, you have to give me an example. Like, pen chalk. You said play computer games. What kind of computer games do you play? Let me hear about it. Let me listen to it. And Eric, 1 year ago, I was in charge of an activity. So what happened? I would like to hear. Okay, and Kizusu, when I'm stressed out, I tend to talk a lot. My friends are good listeners, so I often ask them out when I feel stressed. Kizusu, what was the recent event that stressed you out? What did you guys talk about? What did you talk to your friends about? That is what you have to talk about. You know, your answers have to be 1 minute long, and if you cannot fulfill that 1 minute of time, then you wouldn't get good scores. You have to give an example, really. Hyun, because I can share my problems with friends and they're always sticking with me when I feel stressed. Yes. So what was the problem, Hyun? Guys, you have to be a little more open-minded and share your real story in this part. Angibom님, first, there are many exciting programs on TV, and second, it makes me happy with family in my home. Okay, you're listing all these reasons, which is not good. Annyeong, for example, I entered a company a year ago, and I got a lot of stress from human relationship. Sports club, and I could relieve stress by kicking a ball. Good, okay. Pinch chalk. LOL, lol. Okay, League of Legends, for me, it feels me relax, okay. Okay, I need a little bit more personalized story. Okay, you guys tend to hold back the real essence of the whole story behind it. Giang, you're late, but we're still here. Don't worry, we're talking about part 6. Yes. Quiz. Hanging out with friends. Negative. Overshadowed myself by job hunt after I spend fun with my friend. Is the most effective. Teji complained to my boss. We can be relieved. Because of the marks at school, I always feel stressed, so I think hanging out with friends is a good way. Okay, so what do you do when you hang out with friends? Guys, Hyun, what do you do? What do you do when you hang out with your friends? You think it's really hard to decide which option to go for? All right, you know what? Ashlyn, you just said the magic word. I'm going to do all 3. Guys, listen carefully to what I say, and I'm going to do all 3, and I'm going to show you how you can give the actual example speaking. I'm going to go for watching TV. In my opinion, watching TV is the most effective way to relieve stress, and there are several reasons to support my opinion, and most of all, it's very helpful for me to reduce stress. For example, last year I got a job at LG, and it's a big company, and I work in the sales department, so it's very stressful. You know, every month we have to do this sales, report, and it's really stressful. And last month I didn't do well, and I was, pretty much criticized for my work. So it was really stressful. So I met my friends whenever I was stressed. We would go to a pub and we drank beer and we talked about my work situation and my problems at work. My friends listened to me, they cheered me up, they gave me lots of tips and advice. And although I was very stressed, I was able to cheer myself up and get back to work and work harder. So it was very helpful for me, and that's why I think so. Oops, did I say watching TV? Oh, okay. All right, this version was hanging out with friends. Okay, this version, sorry guys, was hanging out with friends. So I was being specific about, I was stressed, I met my friends, we drank, we talked about my work, and they, helped me with it. That's my, okay. Oh, 안기범님, now you're getting it. 바퀴 달린 집. Yeah, I like that program too. Yes, so I'm gonna, let me go with TV. Watching TV, I think, is the most effective way for me because it's very fun, and exciting to watch TV. For example, Nowadays, I'm looking for a job and it's really stressful. I'm writing resumes, I'm applying for many jobs, but it's really hard to get an opportunity. I mean, I hardly ever get a chance to have an interview. So I'm really stressed out and I really don't know what to do, and it's really frustrating. But, at night, I take a shower and I turn on my TV and I watch many programs. And my favorite program is called 바퀴 달린 집. And when I watch the program, I grab a beer and I would drink beer, watch TV, and I feel so relaxed, and it really helps me relieve stress. And after that, I feel better. I recharge myself and I, can get on with my, job hunting again. So I think that's why I think so. Okay, so in this case, I was stressed out from, searching for jobs, and I said I watch TV, I grab a beer, I have a beer, yeah, and I can relieve my stress. Yes, Chris, that's what I'm saying. That's how you get good score. Great job. Everybody listen to Chris. Yeah, you have to give at least one specific example. That's how you give an effective opinion. I think it's a wonderful way to get rid of stress. Yes. Got it. All right. Well, but still, I'm going to do the last one. No, you don't need to give 2 examples. Believe me, I swear to God, you don't have to give 2 reasons. 1 reason, 1 example, that's it. Clear. Okay? I swear to God. I swear to God. Last one. In my opinion, cooking is the most effective way to relieve stress, and there are several reasons to support my opinion, and most of all, I think it's very helpful for people like me. For example, I'm a student. I have to study all the time, and recently I've been taking lots of tests, and I was very stressed because I had to study at the library all day long. I had to get good scores on my test so I can get a scholarship next semester. So I was really stressed out. So at night when I came back home, I took out all the ingredients from my fridge and I started cooking. I sometimes cooked some tteokbokki, which is a Korean dish, and I ate it. And sometimes I baked some cookies and cake, and I just brought them to my school and I shared the food with my friends, and actually it made me happier, and it was very helpful to relieve stress. So I think cooking for me is the best way to relieve stress. Okay, so this is how you say it. This is how you say it. Everybody, press the like button. Yes. If today's lecture was helpful for you, please press the like button and always follow me so you can get the updates on what we're doing on this channel. And it's a way to alleviate my stress. Is a very good expression. Okay. All right. So just remember, for part 6, it's very important that you provide a specific example of what you actually do. Okay. All right. So anybody who has any questions about the TOEIC speaking test, let me know. Well, yeah, I know. It's the most valuable channel to get high scores. Food like spaghetti, umbi, which is a challenge for me to make. Thank you so much for the lecture. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'm here once a month live, but I'm on my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram and see what I'm doing. Yeah, throughout the month. Kyuchal. Hello. Yes. And yeah, I know the COVID-19 is not getting any better. Yeah, there's no way that I'm going to any other parts of the world. I'll be staying in Korea. Oh yeah, you have to act a little bit. Remember when I was talking on the phone, I sounded like very natural. It's very important that you act. That's very important. Yes. Hyun, to Anvo, question 10 is always hard for me. Yeah, you have to just be aware of the situation and provide the best solution possible. And on the next coming month, which is September, our show will be on the 25th. September 25th. 2-5. Yes. So on September 25th, I will be seeing you here on this channel. Sejun, make sure you don't make mistakes on your grammars, okay? And good luck on your test on Sunday. And guys, Taeji, remember, send me your recordings. I would like to hear your answers. I'm gonna tell you what to do, what to work on, okay? And I will see you next month. Bye-bye.